Episode, 24? Is that where we are?
I have
Matt and Dennis
you lost
podcast.
me after your anger of the last one, so I don't really recall.
This is episode 24 of Mad, the Matt and Dennis podcast, and our email address, mad@mattanddennis.com, if you want to email with us and tell us your comments or whatever. Did you see about the new island that has popped up off of the coast of North Carolina?
I saw it's called Shelley Island, I think it's
called.
called.
Well, they just somebody just named it that. Somebody just named it that.
Better than Bodie McBoat face or whatever it is.
Yeah, Island McIsland face. That's It doesn't have an official name.
No, it's essentially a sandbar, from my understanding.
Yeah,
a rather large one.
Yeah, a rather large one that popped up very fast. Yeah. But the thing is, I've been seeing people commenting saying, "Oh, well, this proves that there's no such thing as global warming," which is utterly ridiculous. It has nothing to do with global warming. In fact, if you know anything about the Outer Banks, things like this happen all the time along the Outer Banks. You get a storm come in, and it opens up a brand new inlet that wasn't there before, and that inlet may stay there for years. And then the next storm that comes through, I think
the difference in this case is I don't think there was a storm involved with it. I mean, I understand every time we get any sort of tropical storms, hurricanes, whatever on the coast, if you are there, certainly Outer Banks, roads that have been there for a while are no longer there.
Yeah.
And then there's this new fancy place for you to go to. This one appeared like mysteriously out of night, and it's like 3 football fields wide, and I think a mile or so long.
Yeah, but the thing is about the Outer Banks are actually migrating towards the south. Mm-hmm. I mean, in several thousand years, maybe a million years, we won't even have the Outer Banks off the coast of North Carolina. They'll be down around Georgia somewhere. So.
Wow, a little bit of science with Dennis Elliott.
Yeah,
We're always learning something.
So they're migrating anyway, and things constantly change there. So it doesn't prove anything about global warming. It just proves that the ocean currents are there, and they force up sand in one certain location and take it away in another location.
Well, when you look at that map, and I've seen it on the news, I've seen it online. You look at that map, you go, "Oh, you could just walk across there. You'll just get over to." But apparently,
it's pretty
not.
deep.
They said
and
that if you're going to go
currents.
over there, you're going to have to take a boat of some sort, whether it's a kayak. You have a lot of kayaks out there. They said you better be an experienced kayaker.
Yeah,
because the current is pretty heavy at times. The way it is now. So it's a beautiful location. It's got a lot of shells because obviously it just rose from the depths.
Yeah.
But you better know what you're doing if you're going to go over to that island.
I'd like to see it stay there for a while and maybe even start sprouting some vegetation on it. That would be interesting. Some vegetation on it could help hold the sand in place for a while, even take care of some, what do you call it, take care of storms that come through and everything.
Well, I'm just waiting for the politicians to tax us for going over there.
Well,
somehow, some way, there's going to be a tax about you getting your kayak and fishing over.
If it stays there for a while, it'll be interesting. Who owns it? How do you sell land on it, for example? If you want to put a little lot on it or something, something that pops up like that. Who owns it? I guess the state owns it.
I'm sure Roy Cooper owns it at this point, and we'll decide on what taxes need to be levied and if they're going to put up some sort of Starbucks.
Yeah.
Starbucks, I think, is right now looking to open up a Frappuccino maker somewhere on Shelley Island.
So it'd be a great place if somebody's headed down to the Outer Banks for the 4th of July. It's down near Buxton, North Carolina.
Yeah. So let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're down there.
Yeah.
Right? You're by yourself.
Yeah.
And you get out to Shelley Island. Nobody else is there.
Plant a flag out there.
The Elliott flag is planted.
That's right.
Do you at any time, it seems like you're the only human on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you strip down and walk around naked?
No. No,
really?
No,
Not
I
at
wouldn't
all.
do that. No,
you never once thought I'm the only guy
maybe
on
when
the
I was
planet.
younger, I might have, but
you're just going to go commando on Shelley Island and.
Well, I've never been in a situation, or not in many, many years, where I felt I was totally isolated.
Sure.
If I were like in Tom Hanks' movie Castaway, where he was on that island, I probably would just
no loincloth.
Who cares? At that point,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Shelley Island is now Dennis Island.
Well, if in that case, I probably
you're stripping
would.
it down. You're wandering around.
Yeah,
you pervert. Unbelievable. Elliot, small children are going to be on that island. Unbelievable.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us for episode 24 of MAD, the Matt and Dennis podcast. Our email address, mad@mattanddennis.com. And we'll see you back here for episode 25. Can't wait.